fourth quarter in the past. What did you think of the way they performed in the fourth quarter tonight?
Yeah, I thought, you know, I think other than, you know, I'm trying to think back to the last time that obviously in the Washington game they started coming back, the one here. But we've done a pretty good job in this month after the Atlanta game of playing in the fourth quarters. You know, I didn't think we were great in the first half, but I thought we had some turnovers that were probably avoidable, but we were being aggressive, so that was good. But I thought we played pretty well after that middle of the second quarter and on. We just kind of, I was excited about it because it was steady. You know, you just kind of steadily increased the lead. It was 3, then, you know, first median, the second it was 4, and then, you know, you just kind of kept it going up and up and up. That was a good thing for our team. So hopefully we can build off of it.
Coach, I know you've gone Bradley, Rondo, Smart at the end of the games. Was the decision to go small tonight a reaction to something that they had on the floor, or was that something that you decided to do to try to close this out?
I just wanted to be into the ball and aggressive, and they were small. They had Tobias Harris at the 4, so it forced our hand a little bit. You know, so I felt like we were either going to have Bass at the 4 or we were going to go small with Jeff. And I just felt like that group was playing so well, and I felt like Phil Pressey was really active and aggressive, both on the ball handler and then away from the ball, and so made a lot of sense to just stick with him, especially as the lead continues to go up and up and up.
Coach, how much did Kelly, when he made those 3 straight buckets, 8 points, that kind of led the run to close the second quarter? How much did that set the tone for you guys for the rest of the game? Yeah,
I actually thought we started to guard a little bit. So they had 40, I think 47. It was 47-36 maybe. And I don't know how much time was left in the first half, but you know, over the last roughly 30 minutes of the game, you know, they scored. You know, they scored what, 45 more points. So you know, we started to really defend. I'm not going to give a whole lot of credence to Kelly's run because that bank in the middle was unintended and lucky. But he's scoring and playing well. I was really happy with the job that he did at the end of the game on Vucevic. I thought he really tried to guard him at the end.
Does he look even more aggressive to you than he did just 2 nights ago in Philly?
I don't think so. I will say this, Emily. I thought he passed up some shots early. So he's in a good rhythm, obviously, scoring the ball. But I thought he can't pass up shots. We got to keep harping on that, win, lose, or draw.
Coach, first half, you guys had, I think, 10 overs, 13 points off of those. Second half, much better job. What was the key to you guys just doing a better job of, you know, not committing so many turnovers?
Well, they were really packed in, and we tried to make some passes that just weren't there, and we tried that some in the third quarter too. But I thought, you know, for the most part, we just we were stronger with the ball, and when our bigs started making some shots, that extended them a little bit more. They were more extended than maybe they were at the start of the game when they were more packed in, and that's why you get some of the rolls and those type of things at the end of the game that Bass got.
And just at the start of the game, Jarrett, first couple shots were around the basket, which we haven't really seen him from the jump really look to do that. Talk about just how important that was for not just him but also the team.
Yeah, I mean, it was really important. I mean, we had, you know, all 4 of our big guys in double figures, and they all played well in the paint, and they all played, you know, reasonably well moving the ball. So I think that you know, it was good. It was good to see those couple post moves go in early for Jared. I was happy for him. That's a good feeling when you haven't made one in a while.
Yeah, Coach. Coach, you talked about Kelly. You wanted to see more consistency in him. Do you think that his mindset is he's carrying that forward? And I know he passed up some shots, but I think he's being more aggressive and kind of hearing.
Kelly really wants to be good. I mean, that's clear. I talked about, you know, Oladipo's work ethic before, and Kelly's work ethic is excellent. I mean, Kelly's back at the gym almost nightly, regardless of outcome, there all the time. You know, I think there was a night we came back maybe, and no, we had played and he came back at 12, and then the next morning we had a day off and he was there at 7 a.m. and then he had stuff to do in the afternoon. I mean, he's there all the time, and so it's good to see that pay off. And hey, we need him to shoot the ball, and so he puts a lot of time into trying to get himself ready to make those shots. We just want him to take as many as possible.
Coach, how far has your defense come over the past 2 weeks or so? I think you were, over your last 8 games, limiting opponents to about 43% shooting.
Yeah, it wasn't very good in the first 18 minutes of the game, but it was pretty good after that. Yeah, I don't know if it's improving, but I don't know that we're accomplished. So I think that we have to continue to strive to improve. I think adding Marcus Smart healthy will help that. That's obvious. But I think playing Gerald Wallace helps that. And playing Phil Pressey helps that. So, you know, and I think we have to really evaluate that as we continue to evaluate our team.
What do you think has improved at that end, just as opposed to the beginning of the season?
Well, I mean, you work on it every day, and you try to make adjustments to what's not going well, and you try to make adjustments, or you try to keep the things that are going well the same. Tonight, we had versatile defenders on the floor that could switch a little bit, and that helped. And we had guys that could get in the ball, and that helped. When we don't get into the ball, we're not very good. And when we don't, you know, try to make it tough to not catch it deep, we're not very good. Because, you know, we're not going to keep anybody from doing anything down there if they catch it too deep. We saw that a little bit in the first half.
Brad, Rondo's stint in the second quarter, where he basically had 7 rebounds, 4 assists.
It was really good.
I mean, yeah, can you talk or encapsulate that little stretch? It seemed like he made 4 turnovers in the first quarter, but after that, he was
really
locked
good.
In.
Yeah, he was really good. I mean, he made a bunch of plays in a row. And, you know, we challenged our 2s and 3s at halftime because he had 6 defensive rebounds, and I think that equaled everybody else. And Avery went out and had a great rebounding half, and, you know, we had multiple guys get involved that way. But him getting the ball off the glass and pushing it up the floor was fantastic. And then he made a couple of, you know, drive and kick across the floor and got Jeff his 3s. And so, you know, good stuff. I mean, he played great.
And the fact that he seemed comfortable with taking his jumper.
Yeah, he was really aggressive yesterday in practice. He didn't shoot it great yesterday, but he shot it. You know, he was really aggressive. How many shots did he shoot today? 12. That's great. You know, and I tried my best to make a conscious effort to have a couple of actions out of the timeout for him and those type of things, just to get him more shots.
You talked about your team defending better. Vucevic was dominating in the first quarter, kind of was taken out of the game after that. Was it something specific done to him, or was it just everybody playing harder on defense?
Well, I think it was we were better individually on him after that start. Tyler did a better job when he got back on him. Kelly did a good job. Sully did a pretty good job. We didn't allow the catches to be so deep, and then we were more active off of the guards, you know, whether it's digs or traps or whatever the case may be, just kind of depended on the situation and who was cutting and who was playing.
Coach, for a guy like Gerald Wallace that's a veteran, he may know what to expect coming off the bench when he's not playing many minutes, but what does it say about Phil Pressey and the work he puts in to stay game ready whenever his number's called?
I think it's one of his great qualities. You know, his professionalism, his work, and his ability to change the tempo of the game are his 3 calling cards, in my opinion. You know, he's not a veteran of the NBA playing-wise, but he's probably been around the NBA more than any of our other people in our locker room. So he is a veteran of it in a lot of ways.